Okay.
You got the drone going.
Okay. Okay.
Is that a yes?
Here we are, the WCTV Game of the Week, visiting Raptors and the Franklin Admirals here. I'm here with the one half of the Williamson County power couple, Clarke Oldham. I'm Doug Capella. Clarke, what do you think about tonight?
It's going to be interesting. Both teams come in a little bit of a different state. One's 4-0, one's 1-3, but it's not like Franklin's been blown out of any game. They've only lost by a total of 5 points, and so they probably have some confidence coming in and feeling like they can handle it. But Ravenwood is a juggernaut, as we know.
Yeah, and they have, if you look over on their sidelines, they have more people in uniform than in the stands, and that's
true.
saying something for Ravenwood. Over 100 kids in uniform. Great night weather-wise. We got drones in the air, and kickoff is about to be underway. Friday Night Lights, you cannot beat it.
We got Ravenwood kicking off, Franklin receiving to start the game. It's interesting, we got a couple, 2 or 3 players that are D1 signings already from both sides of the football. So we'll see what kind of impact those players have.
And just like that, ball goes into the end zone.
For a touchback. Franklin will begin the drive. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
So Ravenwood, a lot of expectation, and I feel like it carries over every year to compete for a state championship. And like you said, 4-0, well on their way again. Different staff this year for Ravenwood, but same result.
Yeah, Coach Rodriguez talked about that, how they had to, their players had to kind of get used to the new offensive coordinator, kind of different play calls and calling different schemes. And so it looks like they got very comfortable the last 2 games.
Looked like a false start on the left tackle, potentially, or an offside.
Oh, it looks like an offsides. Looks like.
So there you go, encroachment on the right end. I believe that was number 9 for Ravenwood.
Danny Brown. That's one of the players Coach Rodriguez called out as being a leader on that and being somebody who has D1 potential. I don't think I've seen that he's signed with anybody, but he is definitely a player.
Franklin a little young behind center. Greg, a sophomore quarterback, number 2. Handoff there.
Not going anywhere.
Not a lot of room.
Looks like a fumble.
Ravenwood saying their ball, and it is. Officials say fumble. Number 22 for Franklin, Joseph Pania, coughs it up there. Franklin thought they had something going with the free 5, and then just like that, next play turnover, and Ravenwood, not the start Franklin wanted to put this powerful offense 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line.
That is not where you want to put this offense. You know, Coach Atkins talked about sustained drives, holding on to the ball. Turnovers would be huge this game, and it's probably not what he wanted in the first minute of the game.
First and 10 from the Franklin 25.
I'm looking at the line down there for Ravenwood, and they got some beef up front for sure.
They definitely do. What's interesting is that these 5 starters are all brand new. So they're not bringing anybody new, anybody from last year. But it
imported some size for sure.
Absolutely.
Ravenwood quarterback Maverick Chance on the keeper. He's going to get about 12 on the play. I was looking at their line here. 74, Cameron Fazalot, 6'4", 285, left tackle.
Yeah, and they also got a kid, Lucas Guza. He is a 6'3", senior, 245. So they've got some big boys up front to push people around.
The give there to number 20.
Just like that.
Caden Pace in the end zone, 2 plays, touchdown. Points off turnover, just like that.
It's interesting they started with Maverick Chance. They've got 2 quarterbacks that both are D1 type quarterbacks. Actually, Femi Babaloa is actually signed with Boston College, and he's not even starting the game. I think that says something, doesn't it?
Yeah, when you sign a D1 offer in high school and you're the backup to start out, that gives you the depth and the talent level right there in Ravenwood.
And Ryder Gregg's a good quarterback, and he works hard, but I don't think that they have 2 D1 quarterbacks on that sidelines for Franklin.
Extra points good. I don't know if they're going to get that ball back. Kicked it into the metal warehouse behind the school.
Well, it was quick, 7-0. I guess what you can look at it is this way, Doug, is that Franklin can kind of say, okay, that's our mistake. Not much we can do. Let's restart and try to get back at this game.
Well, and this isn't a shock the world type game. I think Franklin is just trying to be competitive here. And so you'd think that they would probably try to run the football, you know, get the game to a smaller time, keep the clock running. But, you know, from what we saw, they did just that. They tried to run and had the turnover there. But if I'm Franklin, that's my mindset. Let's shorten the game, run the football, keep it close.
Yeah, make the clock run, use the clock for our benefit. You know, and another thing that we see, you know, you were saying at the beginning of the game how many players they've got on Ravenwood's side, but they have 40 seniors on that sidelines, and a lot of those seniors probably are not even starting because of the talent level they have. But to have 40 seniors, the other side of the field is Franklin does not have those kind of numbers, and they are a very young team, and they're trying their best to get those kids to play.
You know, Clarke, when I see 100 kids and, like you said, 40 seniors, knowing that maybe half of them seniors won't play, that's really a testament to culture. To know I'm going to be a part of an organization where I may not play, I may not see the field, but yet I'm still going to come out and I'm going to participate. Franklin on the return there takes it out to about the 22. A little business out of bounds there, but no flags on the play. Franklin will take over at about the 20.5-yard line.
That was Micah Howard with the return. He's a sophomore speedster. He's got some speed that if he could ever hit that edge, he might be able to go. You're right with that culture. I mean, one of the things that Ravenwood's coach, Rodriguez, was talking about is how many of those offensive and defensive linemen have waited for 2 years or 3 years just to get on the field, and they've stuck around, where a lot of kids wouldn't do that.
That's right. I mean, and it's a champion pedigree. They know that if they put that white uniform on, they're going to be competing for a state championship. And so, you know, iron sharpens iron. If you can have 40 seniors play, it's only going to make your team that much better. So Franklin, counter to my comments, opens up and throws the ball. It's going to be incomplete out in the flat to number 22. That's going to be, again, the Joseph Panea.
It's 2nd and 10.
And that's one of those things that Franklin has to do. They have to hold on to that ball, make those plays, or it's going to be a very tough game for them. You know, Franklin's got a great tradition, too, and they're trying to build themselves back to that. They've got a good group of young players that are willing to get out there and challenge a veteran team like Ravenwood. And so I think it's going to pay off in a year or two with this coaching system and coaches that they have.
Well, if you remember, there was a few years back where they hadn't scored a touchdown in several games, and so the rebuild has been underway for a while, but they're starting to taste a little bit of success, and they've won some games, and it goes back to, again, building the culture around, do you want to do this? Because sometimes your best athletes in the building don't play. If they're not going to be competing for wins, they may not play. They might do something else. And so it's difficult to reestablish that, but they have had success in the last couple years, at least getting some offense together, winning some games.
Yeah.
So they're spreading the field out here 3 wide. Panea is in the backfield, plays coming in from the sideline. And when I say they should run the ball, you're probably going to have what I call long handoffs where you do have the quick passes out to the flat. You're going to throw to the sideline to your receiver. I don't know that they're going to be taking a bunch of deep shots.
Oh, that just came down quick.
And that was a quick sack. Quarterback's calling for a face mask. I think he had Jersey there, though. Grabbed him by the top of his shoulder pad and drug him down.
Yeah, that was Jalen Pollard.
That might have been one of the fastest sacks I've ever seen in high school football.
That was one of those players Coach Rodriguez talked about.
How
he
came
just
out
next
of a
level.
cannon right there.
Yeah.
Number 4 on, the snap got there and he had his jersey.
I think he must know what's going on. Well, this is,
So 4th and more than he's willing to go for on his own 10-yard line. 4th and about 22, punting with his heels in the end zone. Ravenwood has one guy back deep. This looks like it's a protection coverage. Punt is high and spinning in the air. Bounces out of bounds at the 37. We'll see where the official officially marks the out of bounds. He's counting it back. See how close I was. 37, and down to the 35. So, 4 yards off within the margin of error there,
it could have been where you said to mark it. It could have been another 5 yards up. I don't know how they can read that on the sidelines.
Well,
I think at some point
when it angles diagonally, it's like where exactly did it eclipse the out of bounds mark there? But what the official says goes.
You just got to trust them and know what they're doing. So.
Well, so Ravenwood takes over again deep in Franklin territory. That was only a net punt of about 20 yards. Quick pass right here. He had to go down to get it if it's caught.
There's Babalola. It's coming in. He's the Boston College. I believe I'm saying his name right. Babalola. And he is the Boston College signing already. And so he is coming in, and he is a good
Babalola.
Babalola. Thank you so much.
I think.
We'll go with that. You sounded a whole lot better than I. When you got a guy who's in quarterback who's 6'3", 215.
Well, he's thrown 2 where in the shortstop area there. Both receivers had to go down and try to get it. One caught it, one bounced off the turf. So, but when you don't come out and you're not starting the game, you might have a little rust.
Right. Well, I don't know why he's rushing it. He seemed to be rushing that. He wasn't under any kind of pressure.
No, I don't even think they sniffed his jersey on those 2 dropbacks. But you can tell by his poise and his mechanics, he has an absolute cannon of an arm.
There's a flag.
There's
like a
flag.
hole.
Yep, 20 on the carry. It's going to be Caden Pace.
Yeah, it was a good stop by Franklin, though. The quarterback skipped it, like you said, but just to have 3rd down and hold them was good for Franklin to see them be able to do that and keep them from being able to drive towards that end zone.
Well, I'm going to guess this is a hold on Ravenwood, and if it is, what do you do if you're Franklin? Because if you decline it, it's 4th down, but they're probably going to go for it if you decline it.
Yeah.
So they accepted it. They're going to move them back 10. It was going to be about 3rd and maybe 5 if they decline it, or 4th and 5. And to me, if you're Ravenwood, you probably go for that.
Absolutely. Well, you got to figure Ravenwood is at this point not too concerned about Franklin's offense.
Correct.
With the 2 possessions that they had, they stuffed them and didn't have any problem getting to the quarterback. And so you look at all the paperwork and all the things that go into 4th downs and see where your opponent is, and this is probably an easy call if they were there.
9:11 left in the first quarter. 3rd and about 15 for this Ravenwood offense. You got to wonder if they're going to take a little bit of a shot here, if they're going to use the 2-down approach to get a 1st down.
I think that if the quarterback has time, you look for that long ball, send somebody just flying down the field and see if there's something open. If not, you've got a second wide receiver who's doing a little down and turn and see if they can get about 7-8 yards, and that way you can go for it on 4th.
Well, in Ravenwood has not attacked the second level of this Franklin defense either.
They haven't had to.
They haven't had to. That's correct. They've been in short yardage. They've been ahead of the chains. And so it's been a lot of passes out to the flat, a couple runs. I mean, they scored on 2 plays on their opening drive. And so it would be interesting to see what they do if they're going to go ahead and attack that second level and challenge the Franklin secondary. We have an injured player on the field, so he looks like he's getting up. It's going to be number 24 for the Rebels. It's going to be David Domingo.
Yeah.
Up under his own power. Getting a little bit of hydration there. Looks like he's going to be okay. So Ravenwood's going to come back out with the ball on the 39, 15 to go.
So what do you do if you're Franklin on the defensive side? Do you try to get after that quarterback because you know there might be throwing long and try to get a sack, or do you play a little prevent, even though it's, first quarter, you still kind of keep them in front of those first down marker?
Well, if I'm Franklin, I'm just trying to keep it in front of me. I don't want to give up a big play. There's the quick pass, and again, low.
Short, yeah.
Low and short. 3 bad passes from Babalola. And so it's 4th and 15.
It looks like they're staying on.
Well, first of all, I think they're still in field goal range.
I'm not surprised that kicker. That wasn't even close.
But it looks like they're keeping the offense on. You got to wonder if he's going to try to draw them and get some yards back and then maybe send the kicker out. But it wouldn't surprise me either if they went for it here. But Franklin, when they ran the play, it's exactly what I thought. They just stepped back on their heels and wanted to keep the play in front of them. And those safeties looked at each other and said, don't be the one.
That's right.
To give up the big play.
But the quarterback helped him out. Put a little pressure on the quarterback there. Good pressure. Can he get him down?
And he sacked.
What a great play.
Yes, with a big defensive stop. Sack for a loss of about 12 on the play. Franklin brought the heat, and Babalola had immediate pressure.
Looked like Andrew Brown came in from the linebacker position and put a lot of pressure on him. He didn't bring him down, but he held him up to let somebody else come in and get that sack.
That's right, number 9 with the pressure, and then he was cleaned up by a host of Rebels, or Admirals, I'm sorry, back in the old days.
No, you got one back a day. That's nice. It's all right. I already tried to tell myself not to make that mistake.
The Admirals. That's correct. We had a little mascot switch a few years back. So the Admirals take over on the Ravenwood 49.
Well, this is where he wants to sustain this offense. I mean, they're at the 50, which is a good spot. They're not worried about being pinned back, and let's see if they can get something going, and they can't.
Well, and I think their yards per carry average right now is about a half a yard, if that, and a fumble.
Yeah.
And so they're not clearing run lanes, and you can just look, and I wear glasses, and I can see that the lines are significantly different sizes.
Absolutely.
And I'm not just talking about height. I'm talking about thick. That Ravenwood line is thick with 2 C's, whereas the Franklin line is a little more svelte, like you and I, Clarke. Our new diets were on here.
I'm glad you said svelte and not thick for us, which is good, because don't always feel that way.
Franklin 3 wide out of the shotgun.
2nd and 11.
Jet motion.
Can he get there? That's Micah Howard, who does have some speed, but if you got 3 guys going after you before you can turn the corner, that speed really doesn't matter.
Yeah, and again, loss of 2. So 2 runs for a net loss of 3 yards on the play, 3rd and 13. And so in Franklin, this is not what you want to be behind the chains here with their offense. You're not going to want to take deep shots against that Ravenwood defense. And you don't want your quarterback taking a 3-step drop for risk of sack, because Ravenwood can get after you with their front 4.
You know, it's interesting, something that on WCTV, the interviews with both coaches, interesting something that Rodriguez said is they only have maybe 1 or 2 players that play both sides of the ball. And I thought that's probably in high school rare to have that small number doing that. Usually you have 4 or 5 or 6 that are athletes that are playing both sides. And it just shows you, like you said, with the 100 kids they have on that sidelines, they got a lot of talent.
And they keep them fresh.
Yeah.
So timeout Franklin, their first timeout of the half. 6:45 here on your WCTV Game of the Week. The Franklin Admirals hosting the Ravenwood Raptors, and your score was a quick 7-0 off of a turnover.
Middle Tennessee's Community Bank. Dairy Queen. It's blizzard time.
So you got to wonder what page of the playbook Franklin is on here to take a timeout for 3rd and 13 here on midfield.
Well, you hope that they can start kind of making the plays they want to make with running and setting things up. You hope that they don't go to a lot of, you know, as the word is, trickeration to try to get those yardage, because against that Ravenwood defense, that sometimes that's just going to go against you. But we'll see if the main thing is giving Ryder Gregg some time. He's got a good arm. He can find the receivers, but, you know, like that last sack, he just didn't have time to do anything.
When he had a little bit of success at the hashes, thrown out to the hashes,
yeah,
and you're not going to get 30 yards there, but you might get 5 or 6. It's the long handoff I was talking about. So he goes
coming
back.
after him.
He's looking.
He doesn't have any time.
He is hammered. Woo. Number 8 back there in a hurry. Peyton Husak said, "Who dat?" right in the backfield. He got crunched on that one. So now you got 4th and about 21 on the play.
Listen, I'm not very good with numbers, but when you've got 4 or 5 blocking and about 7 coming after the quarterback, it's impossible to block all those guys.
Well, and again, it goes to what we said. Franklin can't be 3rd and more than 5 on the chains, because it just totally takes them out of their offense. And Ravenwood didn't even bring it that time. That was just an inside pressure.
Yep. Well, the defensive coordinators just got to look at that. Whenever they're 3rd and long, it's just, let's just pin back our ears and go after them. I mean, they're not worried about them picking up the yardage. Let's see if we get a little better punt here from Franklin. That's a much better punt.
Much better. Into the lights. 83 catches it. Cuts up field. He's got a blocker. He's got wheels. He's turning it
There's
up.
a flag thrown from about 30 yards away. Watch out, a little extra. Another flag coming up.
So you're going to have some kind of hold or block, I'm sure, and then you're going to have a retaliatory unnecessary roughness. That's going to be on number 5 for Franklin.
Santino Bruni. He had a little extra. I'm sure that something happened to him too, but usually, as always, they catch the second guy.
A little bit of lanyap on that play right there, a little extra.
Might have been a block in the back that was seen. That's why you just got to be smart, especially when you're playing a team like Ravenwood. You know, you just can't make those mistakes that hurt yourself, because they're not going to give you anything that's really going to help you. So you got to help yourself. Refs are having a nice discussion at about the 30. Here goes the call. Still discussing it.
Well, they got about 17 flags on the field, so I think there's a lot to sort out down there.
Personal foul. Blindside block.
Oh.
On the receiving team. After the play, personal foul, receiving team, personal foul.
Oh, okay. Franklin gets the advantage there.
Those penalties offset, big first down.
So to unwind and unpack that, they had 3 personal foul calls, 2 of them offset, and they're going with one of them.
One of them counts against Ravenwood.
That's right. So we're going to back them up off the first one.
Well, which quarterback we have in this time? Are they just rotating quarterbacks from possessions? It looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, and I think, you know, with a game like Franklin, this is a good opportunity for both of them to get lots of reps, right? Because I don't think they are in fear of losing the game. And so it's a good one to give them both reps. And so, again, another swap out at quarterback. Run there, gets about 2. And, you know, one thing, too, is when you see the players in uniform, that's not even to mention the kids that are hurt or not in uniform. I mean, they have 100 strong out there in uniform, and you got younger players like Benjamin Coffey hurt, number 70, another one of those up-and-comers looking to get some time next year for Ravenwood. And so, again, it's incredible for me to see them put numbers out that would rival some small or even big colleges.
Absolutely. I mean, you look on the sidelines, they've got 3 student play callers with pennies on, blue, green, and orange, that are on the sidelines. It looks like you said, like a small college making it happen.
So Maverick Chance is the quarterback that's tagging out and in with Babalola. And so Chance is going to be out of the shotgun. It's a quarterback keeper. And Chance is going to be, he's going to have the first down. And so I don't believe Maverick Chance has thrown a pass yet.
He is not, and he's 6 foot 210, so he's
a load too.
The size to be able to run. I mean, I think some of the schools in this county would love to have a 6 foot 210 linebacker.
So Maverick still in there. The handoff is to number 20. Franklin responds, holds him to about 2 yards.
It's a good stop by Franklin. That's what they needed. Kind of slow it down a little bit.
Andrew Brown and Peyton King in on the stop.
So when you have that many kids on the team, you get duplicate numbers. I was looking at my roster right here, and there are 2 20s, as a matter of fact. Caden Pace and Max Hickey, but Pace is the running back that is in. Maverick still out there, hands it off to Pace. Not much there.
Not much at all.
Stop. So Franklin.
It's about 6 left.
Franklin holding strong. 3rd and about a long 5 to go.
And I know it's early in the first with about 4 minutes left, but if somebody just jumped online or did somebody tell them the stats, you would think it'd be much worse than 7-0. 7-0.
Quick pass to the
Quick
sideline.
pass, yeah, good catch.
I'll tell you what, that pass right there to number 1, Cy Longley, if he breaks that tackle, that's a touchdown. They were single man coverage. He was on an island out there. And if he breaks that tackle, that's probably going crib.
Yeah, I think that was David Domingo, who was hurt earlier. It's good to see him healthy. He came out and made a great tackle because, like you said, there was nobody behind him. Another handoff, controlling the line of scrimmage. They pick up about 7 or 8 right there.
Yep. So Maverick 1 for 1 on the night.
It's good stats.
Yeah, 100% completion percentage.
I would just keep calling handoffs and try to keep that percentage.
So 9-yard gain on the first down. Ravenwood in no hurry, taking their time, getting the plays from the sideline. Maverick out of the shotgun. Handoff to Pace on the read option.
First down.
First down, gain of about 6.
You know, I would suspect with knowing what Ravenwood has is they're probably looking at this saying in the first half, let's just try to run some plays that we haven't done before, see if we can control the line. And then if we get up, you know, by a decent score, then we can open it up and try some newer things. But just be consistent, be conservative a little bit, and just kind of push Franklin around.
You know, and you got to wonder.
Good play, almost
Pace
out of
with
it,
the cutback. Upfield. 1 man to beat, splits the safeties. About a 16-yard run there for Pace. You know, you got to wonder, Maverick and Babalola, what their relationship is in the locker room.
Yeah, here.
First and 10 from the Franklin 30-yard line.
This is interesting.
Now they got Maverick and Babalola out there.
Well, you know, both of them are big enough to be running backs and control things. So you don't know what they're going to do right now. I mean,
well, and Maverick's saying, "Did you see my throw? Did you see?"
Yeah, exactly. I'm 1 for 1.
Let's keep Babalola on the sideline here. So Babalola hands it off to Maverick. Maverick cuts to the outside. He's got room, punishing runner, and the runner's holding on all the way out to the parent fold-out chair section.
Hope everybody's okay down there.
Looked like a little bit of a collision.
It did.
Gain of about 8 on the play.
It's a gain of 7 yards on the play. It's 2nd and 3.
So this is a whole nother level of dual threat QB because they're out here at the same time.
I think you got to be worried because at any point both of them can run, both of them can throw, and you just have no idea what they're going to do. Just like this right here.
Babalola looking for room.
Oh, that's a good play by Franklin, though.
It's a good play by the defensive end, sealing the perimeter there, kept it inside. No gain on the play. Actually, a loss of a yard.
Yeah, Alexander Dykstra, that was one of the names that Franklin's coach brought up as a great leader, and he made a wonderful play there.
It's 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
So we're still going with a double quarterback threat here, but Maverick lined up at tailback. Babalola with the handoff. Fumble.
He picked it right back up, though. He got lucky.
He picked it up, and he's going to be close to it. He's holding the 4th down, the official is. So that's.
Oh. You know what they're going to do.
I don't think it'll be the tush push, but I do think they're going to run the football here on 4th and about a yard.
What's your opinion on the tush push? Get rid of it or keep it?
Well, I think they can keep it. I don't know that they should jump off side or false start on there and have motion before the snap. But you're talking to a guy from Philadelphia, so.
You definitely want to keep it then. Okay, I got you.
Well, and just like that, first down.
Yeah.
So a gain of that was too easy of a 4-yard gain right there. But you know what's funny is Buffalo, Josh Allen, he runs the tush push all the time too. He's just Philadelphia, I think, made it famous.
Nobody talks about it when Buffalo does it.
Nope. Well, until Buffalo does it in the Super Bowl and
that's
wins,
it.
That's when it'll be contentious.
That's what I was going to say. That's the difference between those two right there.
Don't miss another Admirals.
You know what I mean? As on Franklin's sidelines, Ravenwood's controlled this game, but they haven't gotten in the end zone yet for that second touchdown. There's still 16 yards left to go. They just almost fumbled the last handoff. Franklin has to still feel that they're in this game, and they've been in every single game they played in. So they got to have some kind of confidence right now.
Well, and the key there, Clarke, is to maintain.
Right.
Because, you know, they're running on emotion, they're running on intensity, adrenaline, all of those things. But can they do that in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter? Because that's where Ravenwood is just going to want to wear them down with that line, with their running backs, because they have a stable of running backs. Their quarterback can run the football. And so can they maintain? Because you're right, it's 7-0, and the first quarter is coming to an end. 59 seconds left here. And we're about 16 yards out from another touchdown. Can Franklin maintain their poise here? Because it feels like Ravenwood's been on offense the entire quarter.
The entire game, yeah. Uh-oh.
Well, and just like that, there goes Maverick out to about
he did not get there.
About the 2-yard line, it looked like, where he went out. And that's going to stop the clock because he was out of bounds.
They marked him right at the 1. You know, it says a lot about Ravenwood's size, speed, is that you look, there's been multiple times where they've made contact or had a chance to get them. I mean, Lucas Harrison had something where he almost had him in the backfield, and they picked up 25 yards or so after the first contact. It's just tough to play against a team like that.
It's kind of interesting if you watch Maverick on both of those runs. He flinches before the ball is snapped.
False start.
That is a false start.
I agree. It looks like he's kind of moving.
But they have not called it.
He also stumbles the last two times. Once he gets that handoff, he's stumbled that with the fumble.
He's running ahead of himself.
Yeah. He's trying to get ahead of speed. He should let that offensive line do the work.
So Maverick back-to-back
Good stop.
carries. Franklin back-to-back goal line stand.
Great job by Franklin there.
Third and about 2. Franklin back-to-back stands Maverick up at the goal line and forces him back.
Mac House, 87, looked like he was part of that tackle, which is great pushing back at the end there.
And there's the first quarter, folks, your WCTV game of the week. The host Admirals holding tight to the 7-0 deficit against your visiting Ravenwood Raptors. The goal line stand continues after the break. There's really no break, so. There is a switch of the field. That's the only disadvantage, Clarke, of being on the goal line when the buzzer sounds. It's
a long
walk. You really want to ideally be at about the 50-yard line when the quarter changes.
I don't know if you play golf, but there's a great book about golf that's called Long Walk Spoiled. And that's what golf is, and this is the same kind of thing. It's a nice long walk, but Franklin, they're hoping for that extra play again, but, you know, it's the kind of thing that Raven was just thinking one good solid play. I'm sure they would have loved to push that in before the first period and first quarter ended.
Well, and I think that Franklin's going to have to do that twice in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, it's third down. There's no way Ravenwood's kicking a field goal here.
No.
On the 2-yard line, as they shouldn't. I mean, they have the dogs up front, but they've ran. It looks like they attacked the A-gap on both tries with Maverick there, and so they may want to try to maybe bump it out to the B or the C along that line between the guard tackle spot.
You got to wonder too. I mean, they have a plethora of running backs over there on the sidelines. It's interesting that they would run both quarterbacks, and I know that Chance is a good runner, but if somebody hurt or they just don't want to risk it or what's going on, because now you got it lined up. Yeah, with Chance still in the backfield, but you have a better chance with a regular running back, and that's his position, to be able to make this play.
Well, and I can tell you, based off of where they're lined up here, that you got 2 up backs, a tailback, and a quarterback. This is going to be Babaloa all the way.
Yep. And that was close. I mean, that was no easy touchdown.
That was the shotgun equivalent of the tush push there. They had 2 up backs shadowing the guards, and then they had Maverick and Babalola there behind them. And all day, all they're going to do is push that front forward, and he still almost didn't make
Didn't get it, yeah.
He had to lunge in to get that. But that brings our score 13-0 at the opening of the second quarter. Raptors on top of the host Admirals. Here's the try, snaps back, kick is up, and it's in another county just like that, 14-0.
11:55 to go in the half. Your score is Ravenwood 14, Franklin 0.
When you got to remember the Raptors deferred, which means they will also get the ball back to start the second half. So interesting drive there, Clarke. They
methodical.
Went away from number 20, Caden Pace, and brought in Babalola and ran Maverick for the majority of that drive.
Well, the last play that the running back ran, he almost got taken down in the backfield, but ended up making about 20, 25 yards on a really good run. Broke a couple tackles, and then we never saw him again. So you wonder, is there an injury there, or they just wanted to go with something different?
This reminds me of my old coaching days. We ran the double wing. They've thrown total, both of these teams, about as much as we did when we ran the double wing. I think we've seen 4 total passes tonight. It's been a lot of running.
I think Franklin has wanted to pass the ball, but they haven't had a chance to.
They've attempted.
They haven't had a chance to get it off. You know, and again, we know who Franklin is. Franklin's still a good team. They're young. One of the things we need to understand about them is a lot, if you're listening to this, or watching this, is they only had 4 returning starters on both sides of the ball. And that is hard to come back when you've got the majority of your starters starting for the first time this season.
And Ravenwood has 40 seniors.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and some of those aren't playing, and so we get it. But Franklin is hanging in there, only 14-0. Anything can happen at this point.
Kick is up, and Franklin's going to let it go into the end zone. Probably the smart move there. It was about 7 yards deep.
I don't think he's had one return this year.
And so if I'm Franklin, knowing that my quarterback has about 2 seconds to get rid of the ball, realistically, I'm looking again for those passes at the hashes, those long handoffs, and getting out to the sidelines, because he's not going to be back 3 and 4 yards picking them apart. I mean, it's evident that that's not going to happen.
And it's a very much of a risk reward. You're going to have to maybe try to do that on a first down, because you can't wait until third down when it's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12 to try to pass the ball, because Ravenwood's just going to come after you. All right, so there we go. Good right there.
Dialed it up to the numbers, and there you go.
That's great. Great play by Franklin. Good decision.
So that's going to be close to a first.
Great pass complete to Miles Putnam.
Yeah, picked up 8, 9.
I mean, and that's what you're going to have to do. And then if they start playing up, then you take your shot with a quick pass and throw a 50-50 ball. But
you know, traditional football is the run sets up the pass. But with Franklin right now, it's kind of, they'd rather have it the opposite way, because if you can pass it a little bit, Ravenwood gets on their heels looking for that pass, and then maybe you can break one.
It wouldn't surprise me here on the 2nd and 1 if they take another shot and not run the ball. But they didn't listen to me on that play.
You got to be louder, Doug. You got to scream that a little bit.
So now you got 3rd and 1. Because an incomplete pass there on 2nd down, you're in this exact same position anyway.
Right.
At 3rd and 1. I might, if I'm Franklin, maybe take a little shot there. Quick pass, something like that, just to get it downfield.
Like you said, you got to figure
loosen up
Ravenwood's
them safeties and cornerbacks a little bit, because if they're leaning forward all night and not leaning back, you're not winning against the run, because they're just going to keep underneath, and they're going to bring the heat each play.
I was going to say they've got 2 11s, because I was like, there's no way they're playing that quarterback out there as a safety, but it's a different number 11.
Handoff again.
And stuffed,
and
right? He might lose a yard.
Well,
push to push, maybe. Oh, he might have gotten it at the end.
He's marking it right on the 30. That's going to be a first. I'll tell you what, the initial hit, he got stuffed in the hole.
Absolutely.
And then he had assistance from his line to move him forward. So tough run, good push.
That's just what Franklin needed. Get that first down, feel a little confidence. You know, they're not.
I give credit to his lineman, because I think that hit may have knocked the soul out of him. I mean, he was met right in the hole. And then his line just kind of moved him forward.
Everybody needs a little help every once in a while.
You got that right. So 1st and 10 on the 30.
They got 2 out wide.
We have a different quarterback in.
That's Luke Thompson.
Yep, Luke Thompson.
Who is the Tennessee, yeah. No, that's 18. We thought it was 10.
That's going to be Isaac Burgos.
Yeah, he comes in every once in a while for a play. They kind of switch it off.
There we go.
But you got 2 sophomores as your starting quarterback. That's rough going.
So Greg checks back in, 2nd and 11.
You know, I haven't seen Franklin play, but I would suspect that Burgos is more of the running type quarterback, where Ryder Gregg's got more of the arm. But, you know, I could be wrong about that. I might have Isaac's mom calling me later on telling me I was wrong, but we'll see.
So 4 wide here with Franklin, single back out of the shotgun. See if they throw a quick pass out here to the sideline or right there at the hash.
Coming after him.
He's looking.
Fumble
on the play.
And it goes wrong way.
Out of bounds.
What's the call on that, Coach?
Franklin's going to benefit from the ball taking a turn and going out of bounds, but that's going to be a huge loss on the play. It did not take – that's a punter's bounce right there.
Tell you what, he just does not have time to set his feet and have any kind of pass downfield.
I don't know. Only the down marker should be moving, not the chains. I don't know what the chain gang is doing down there. It is 3rd and half of the field here.
3rd down and too much to count. There's nothing on the board.
So empty back set here, 5 wide. You got to wonder if he's just going to keep this to try to establish some kind of field position. I don't know that they want to risk.
Well, they only have 2, 3 on the line for defense for Ravenwood. Watch number 9 coming off the side, though.
Number 9 looks like he's about to send a greeting card.
He's pulling back.
Franklin taking a shot deep and
no reason not to.
Just uncatchable right there. 3 or 4 yards out of bounds.
And even with just 3 coming at Franklin, they still put pressure on Ryder Gregg there. I mean, that just tells you about the push that they're getting on that offensive line.
Well, they rushed 2 and dropped 9.
Yeah. And he still felt like he had to throw it early.
Horse in punt formation for Franklin.
So it's 4th and 30 to be exact for Franklin. So they're going to, of course, again, they have just been killed by field position all night. Punter, again, has his heels on the A of Franklin in the end zone.
You know, they
Snap
picked
is
up.
Back, punt up, it's a wobbler.
It only got to the 25.
Takes a
at least a good bounce.
Weird bounce back inbounds, and it's going to be down at the 32-yard line.
So what's interesting is that is about where they had their first down before the fumble. So it's almost like just turning it over right there on downs.
That's right.
Well, Ravenwood has definitely benefited from the short field today. So much of that has to do with their defense.
And let's see what they come out in. You know, they came out with both quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And so I see Babalola coming out.
From the Franklin 32-yard line.
I do not see Maverick. It looks like Pace is back in there at
back
tailback.
in, yeah.
See if they try to fire up Babalola's arm again here on this drive, because he just looked rusty.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot, like I said, it looked like it was a line drive to the shortstop that bounced in front of his receivers each time. So he's going to be throwing it here, it looks like. Timeout, Ravenwood.
They didn't like something.
Yeah, they were in 4 wide, sent Pace in motion. And so that's only one of 2 things. That's going to be a quarterback keeper, or that's going to be a throw.
Franklin Athletics, along with the Franklin Athletic Booster Club, is currently raising funds for a new Jumbotron, which will be placed in the south end zone of the stadium. We have raised over $220,000 and are over 70% of the way to our goal of $300,000. You can help get us to the finish line by scanning the QR code that is hanging on the fence along the front of the bleachers and donating tonight. If you have a business and are interested in advertising on the new board, please contact Franklin High School and talk to Athletic Director Jay Johnson.
So 8:26 left in the second quarter.
I'll tell you what, the one thing that's always good at a Franklin High School game is no matter what the score is or no matter what's going on, those fans are always into it. Those kids are excited to be here. You know, they went through that losing streak, and it didn't change anything with their excitement.
So there we have a good pass from Babalola right into the hands of number 18 for
Babylonia's pass is
the
complete
Raptors.
to Delbo.
Mac Delbo. But still, they haven't, I mean, they've not tried to go long at all. Everything's been short little out passes. Kind of just, like I said earlier, they're just being methodical moving down the field. No reason to make a mistake.
Babalo out of the shotgun, looking to pass, has
There's
time.
your long one. Ooh.
That was a tight pass, just out of the reach of the receiver. You know, and I'm going to put that one on the receiver. He didn't have a crisp break in. That ball was on a rope right there to the end zone. That's a quick goalpost route. And
he hit it.
He just didn't make his break into the ball like he should have. So 2nd and 10, and Ravenwood's coming out firing with Babalola.
Backfield all by itself, just a little.
Back again, the pace at the hash marks, catches the pass. Gets about 8 on the play.
Yeah. Again, you know, the contact was made after about 4 or 5, and it's always falling forward. You know, you don't see Ravenwood going backwards on any of these tackles.
You know, when you have an athlete like Babalola who can absolutely rocket the ball, you have to learn how to put touch on the ball.
Yeah.
Because they want to throw it 100 miles on every throw. Pace there.
That's
man, did he hit that hole nice.
He did.
Broke a couple ankles and touchdown. Ravenwood up 20-0. But that's what it looked like Babalola was doing early on. He's trying to muscle his throws and put them on a rope. And that's when you're doing that, you're overthrowing it and it's hitting the ground. And even that post route he just threw inside.
It's still a little low.
It was a little, I mean, catchable, maybe not a great route. But again, low and on a rope. And you can tell he can put some absolute heat on the football.
You know, but as a head coach, you don't mind if he's putting it in the dirt, so to say, on his first 2 or 3 passes compared to letting them fly long, and that's where interceptions happen because you're overthrowing. So it's easy to say he's not connecting the passes, but it's easier to figure that out after about 2 or 3 of those in the dirt.
So 21-0 is your score now in the second quarter. 7:20 to go.
Franklin Luxury Watches.
Ravenwood kickoff coming up, and again, like we said, Ravenwood gets the kick at the half.
Recreate LLC and Zurich Homes Group.
You just at this point,
it looks like Ravenwood's knocked the rust off.
They have, you know. I mean, they talked about how the first 2 games they played were close games. They looked rusty, and Coach Rodriguez reminded, you know, everybody that those first 2 games were against very, very good teams. One out of Mississippi, I don't remember the name, and the other one was David Lipscomb. No, not David. Was it David Lipscomb? I think they played the second one.
Yeah, I think so.
And those are 2 very good teams that they ended up beating, even though it was close. And their last 2 games completely blew out teams. Summit, who's not a bad team, they beat them, what, 50-0?
So well, when you're beating a 6A team, 50-0.
Yeah.
You know, because that 6A team is, you know, they say they're out of every 12 kids, one's a good athlete. And so 50-0 on a fellow 6A rival is a statement game.
It is a statement game. And I think they're making another statement here. Now, albeit Franklin is not loaded and has a lot of young players. And I think that in the next year or 2, I think that Franklin's going to be one of those programs that can do something. They just got to get those kids a little bit bigger and stronger and keep the system they've got.
Well, you know, back before the TSSAA separated districts and all of that stuff, Franklin was a hotbed, and you'd get kids poached to go to private schools out there all the time. And so they, you know, they'd have these athletes, but they'd be playing for BGA or NBA, you know, whatever. And so I think Franklin is really trying to reverse that and keep the athletes in-house to stay, because this is a place where kids will come to play.
Yeah.
And Ravenwood has already established that. It's an open zone school. Kids can come and they can play. Quick pass out to the hashes.
That's a good little run.
He's going to get about 4 out of that.
Great pass complete to Panea.
Check
Henderson
that.
runs him out of
Make it
bounds.
about 3.
It's a gain of 3 yards on the play.
But again, that's what Franklin's got to do. They can't line up and go toe-to-toe and just push them off the ball. They got to throw the ball out with space and try to do something with it. You know, they haven't tried to go long because Ryder doesn't have enough time to get it down the field. So it's got to be those little out passes and pick up 3-4 yards every time.
Yeah, you got to stick with your short and intermediate routes here. because they've shown, and again right here, you can't run the ball.
No.
I mean, there's just not a lot of answers. You know, when you look at your playbook and your Franklin, you're like, what exactly can I do? Because certain plays are predicated upon other plays.
Brings him down.
You can't use play action here. You're not faking them out with that. You can't, because they haven't established the run.
Another thing that we've learned about Franklin over the last 2-3 years with the struggles that they've had with the losing streak, but coming out of that is that there's never any quit with this team. Even if they're down right now, 21-0, they're still going to battle and fight no matter what the score is, and that makes it at least enjoyable to watch.
4 wide out, 5 wide now.
3rd and 14.
Running back motion. Screen underneath.
It's a good little setup play.
Good pursuit right there from Ravenwood. Number 50 wasn't fooled on the play, dropped back into the screen and made the tackle. It's a good setup, though. Good setup for the inside screen there.
Just didn't have enough time. 4th down.
I'll tell you what, speaking of numbers, you look at this Franklin cheerleading squad. I think every girl in the high school may be on the cheer squad here.
It is from the 25 to the 25.
Double 2 rows.
Yeah.
Yep.
That might have something to do with the feeder school, Grassland Middle School. Cheering at Grassland Middle School is a pretty serious deal. They've won some national championships there with their cheer, so I'm sure it is.
I'd like to take some credit for that. I was there for a few years.
You were?
I didn't have anything to do with the cheerleading program, but in support of their program.
Lisa Wheeler knows what she's doing.
That's right. Sweet Lisa Wheeler. I saw her the other night. I was working at gate duty, and she came with her husband.
That's great.
Yep.
Anderson and Howard on the stop.
Well, once again, field position is not the friend of Franklin High School. This is about the 2nd or 3rd time.
I don't know that Ravenwood has started a drive.
I was about to correct myself. I was about to correct myself there, Doug. I was trying to give a little bit, but you might be right. They might have had the possession.
I know they started at the 20,
yeah.
Then they started at the 35 twice, and now here they're at on the 42.
Yeah. It is tough. It's sledding uphill.
Maverick back in at quarterback saying, Coach, let me throw. Backs out of the pressure there, still looking,
good
and just
decision.
Gets rid of it.
Good decision. That's a good pursuit by Franklin.
That's right. Well, and Maverick really did his best to not take a loss there because Franklin brought pressure quick. He looked like he was going to just try to escape through the B gap or the A, and they closed it up, bumped it outside, and then just dumped it off out of bounds. So smart play on Maverick. 2nd and 10 with just 12 ticks over the 5-minute mark here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, you've seen it so many times that somebody tries to make a play out of nothing, and then all of a sudden there's a fumble, there's this. Something happens, and who knows what's going to happen once you're trying to make something. Just let it happen. Throw the ball away, take your medicine, and get to the 2nd down. It's a good stop by Franklin right there.
I got to say, Franklin's run defense has been hit or miss. They'll stuff them, and then give up a 30-yard run.
Well, I'm sure Ravenwood's playbook is wide open.
Oh.
I mean, they're trying whatever they want to, especially being up 21-0.
So 4 wide. Babalola's back in.
Yeah.
He's scanning the field.
Long.
Taking a deep shot down the sideline. He's got a man.
Boy, he dropped that in there. That's why he signed with Boston College, I'm sure.
Yeah, back in my day, that's how I would have dropped it in too, right on a dime, over the back shoulder, out of bounds. Yeah, right. That just sailed in the night sky to the running receiver, hit him right and drifted him right out of bounds at the 1-yard line. That was a beautiful throw.
1st and goal, Ravenwood.
Babalola hands it off to Pace.
Good
He's going to be stopped.
Pace on the carry. Tegan Lee trips him up in the backfield.
You can see why Babalola's a hot recruit. He's got some touch on that football.
And he's got great size. He's got college quarterback size, and it's obvious he's got an arm. He threw that, good 40 yards? Oh,
fumble. Babalola picks it up. He's driving his leg.
Pushed himself in.
He scores.
Well, what happened? He fumbled. He fumbled it. Watch out.
Franklin going the other way. I'm over here checking my phone for scores, thinking it's a touchdown, and Franklin cribs it all the way 100 yards touchdown, Admirals.
Tegan Lee takes it the distance. I did not see that coming. We both thought he just pushed himself into the end zone with pure power.
Tegan Lee with a strip recovery. Returns it 99 yards to the Franklin.
That makes the crowd go wide
Clarke,
open.
you bailed me out on the call there. I
Yeah.
was ready to sit down and take a breath. And what do we got going on here?
I tell you what, on the replay, Tegan Lee, he just ripped it out and took it from him. That's all he did. Then ran it the whole way back. What a great play. I was like, why are they running down the field celebrating? He got in the end zone. I realized, oh, they were running it back.
Jose Gonzalez into attempt the point after.
No a review from above either. That's
No.
a touchdown, Franklin. Crowd absolutely erupts here in the stadium.
And the kick is good.
That's something to cheer about right there. That's great.
The score is Ravenwood 21, Franklin.
And as always, the student section is packed like it is every Friday night at Franklin High School.
Zero went straight to the oxygen tent after that 100-yard return.
Get him some pure oxygen.
That's right. Got an injury for Franklin.
You know, we were just talking about that with, which was it Chance? Who's the quarterback for? Yeah, no. Pollard. Is it Pollard who's the quarterback? The number 10.
For Franklin?
No, for Ravenwood. When he just dumped the ball off to the side when he had nothing to run to.
Oh, Maverick.
Maverick, yeah. It was a good play. He wasn't trying to push it, you know, just get to the second down and see what happens. Where on this one, the fumble happened. He picked it up. He tried to get in the end zone, tried to do a little bit more. It was only second down. If he just went down, they would have had a third down and probably easily pushed it in, but trying to do too much, look what happened.
Well, and to me, Clarke, we're on the long side away from that end zone. But it looked like he had broken the plane he was in, and it was a touchdown.
I know.
But, you saw it before I did, the strip, and then he cribbed it all the way 100 yards. Franklin, again, to what you have been saying all night, they're just not quitting.
No, they don't. They don't. And that's why the fans love to come see them play, because they know no matter what the score is, they're going to be entertained, and the kids are going to play really, really hard.
So instead of a 28-0 knockout punch, it's 21-7, and Franklin's still has some life left.
Yeah.
Players up. That's 55 for Franklin. That's going to be Noah Robeson, senior. He's up on his own power, looking
That's
like
good.
He's going to be all right.
You know, it's good for Franklin to get that touchdown, be 21-7. There's still 3:43 left on the clock, but besides that one long pass, Ravenwood really hasn't gone for anything long, but I suspect they might go for this and try to get that 28 before half, because they know they're going to get the ball back.
Yeah, I think they're going to try for something quick here. I don't know. And, I don't think they're going to go 4 or 5 yards up, because, honestly, Franklin has stuffed the run decently, aside from a few big plays. They've been able to stop the run, and the last thing Ravenwood wants to do is turn the ball over here on a fumble or something like that, and then really give Franklin life going into the half. Yeah, it would not surprise me one bit if they came out and Babalola was back there firing deep shots.
And even if they don't get it, if something happens and they have to punt, I just don't think that Ravenwood is too worried right now about Franklin's offense.
No.
I mean, I don't know that we don't have the stats in front of us, but I'd be shocked if they have anywhere near 50 yards.
I was going to say, if that was the number I had, they probably don't have.
No, they probably don't.
25 total yards of offense.
Right. And so Ravenwood's got nothing to worry at this point in the game. It might change later on, but at this point in the game, I just don't think the Ravenwood's too worried about them.
Well, and if Franklin can get this in the end zone, it'll be the worst starting field position for Ravenwood all night, but we'll see.
That is true.
The returners both have their heels on the 10-yard line.
It means they know something.
That means they know he's either going to kick it in the end zone or he can't make it to the end zone. And so there it is. It's a line drive. It's going to be returned.
There's a lot of space there.
Number one for Ravenwood.
Oh.
He had room up the seam, cuts it back.
Good pursuit. Got him down at the 35.
So
no
35.
flags.
I was thinking if he cut that back up into the seam on the hashes, he may have had some money there, but he saw something he didn't like and cut it to the outside.
Yeah, it looked like there was a big hole right there for about 2 seconds. Like you said, I saw it too. He could have cut that up and had no problem going up the field.
You know, many, many moons ago when I coached football, one of the hardest things to do was to coach a player to not cut it outside. For some reason, everybody wants to bump it outside. They think that, but you got the 12th man out there, the out-of-bounds
Absolutely.
line. So here we go, 3 wide. Babalola's your quarterback. See how they open up here.
Got man-to-man on that. Just taking
the
that
handoff to
There's
Pace,
nobody in the
straight
back.
up the gut. He said, I heard you, Coach Capella. I'm taking this upfield. We ain't going outside.
Pace on the carry.
Gain of about 16 on the play for Pace, straight up the field.
Well, they just spread that defense wide. You know, they had 2 out on the top, 1 down, and it just they're lucky they got him down because there was nobody deep to make that tackle if he broke that second one.
First and 10 from the Franklin.
I'm going to say Pace probably has more yards rushing than Franklin has total offense tonight. He's been their guy. He's had a couple really nice long runs. Babalola sends Pace in motion. Shotgun, has time, throws it to the middle of the field. That's number 17. I believe that's going to be their tight end. It's going to be Drew Parker, tight end, 6'4",
First catch.
210.
And again, that was on a rope. Boy, he fired that in there.
Albert brings him down. Game's good for Ravenwood, first down. First and 10.
So just like that, the 35 to the 35. Just
2
about.
plays.
Babalola back, 0 pressure here. He's scanning the field. He's going to take off running to the 30. Gets to about the 27 or 28, depending on the spot here.
Runs out of bounds.
He saw Tegan Lee and maybe thought, I don't want to go up against this guy. Last time I did that, he took it from me and went the distance.
I might run right at him. He ran a long way. I don't know if he's got his
still
breath
tired,
back.
yeah. Still exhausted.
3 wide here. Back to the 2 quarterback look. Maverick Chance. Fake to him. Babalola throws it to the outside.
Oh, no, yeah. It took a little while to get there, didn't it?
That was a slow developing play. I don't know that you do the read option and then throw it to the outside there because you're just giving your cornerback time to jump that route, which almost happened.
You can't also double pump that with as far as it's going. That
That's
could
right.
be a ball that's jumped, unless you're pumping it to go down the field, which they weren't.
I mean, he threw that about 30 yards, but it was just sideways, and your cornerback, who's about 6 yards off the ball, has a chance to jump that.
That's a great little play right there.
That's right, number 14. He's not even going to get touched. That's straight into the end zone. 14, that's going to be Taylon Vaughn, 5'8", 160, spark plug. He looks like he's got sub 4.5 speed.
Yeah.
He just took that straight up the field, not even touched. He caught that about at the 20, and he looked gone from the time he caught it. I was like, well.
More than anything else, that's just a good play call. They saw something in the middle of the field, knowing that'd be wide open. And quarterback looked to the outside real quick, looked like he might pass it and came back to the center. So it's a good setup by the quarterback as well.
Well, and I think he was going to him the whole way. He just wanted to look the safeties off away from the play, and he did because he didn't get touched. Kick is up, kick is good. 28-7 is your new score. So the life that was briefly into this Franklin Stadium here has quickly evaporated as Ravenwood drove down the field and took 1 minute and 15 seconds off the clock. 2:15 left before the half. Ravenwood 28, your host Admirals 7.
Well, the way this Ravenwood kicker does it, man, there's no way there's going to be a return. At least I'd be surprised if there was. He puts it in the end zone every single time.
Yeah, if they get it to the 20 in high school, why risk it, right? Let's just kick it, get it deep, and we'll line up at the 20 and make them drive 80 yards and score a touchdown.
Well, you know, it's just another thing that Ravenwood has. You know, it'd be different if it'd be a little kink in their armor if they had a kicker who could only get it to the 15. Then you might have a chance against the defense like they've got is get it out to the 30, 35, return it something. But when your offense is starting that far back against this defense, it's a long way to go.
That's right. That's right. And out of 10 drives, I don't know how many times Franklin would drive 80 yards and score on Ravenwood.
No.
I think that number would probably be close to 0. Kick is up, and that's going to go into the end zone.
Kick goes in the end zone for a touchback. Franklin begin the drive first.
We got 2:15 left. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in this 2:15.
Well, are we going to see pages 9 and 10 of the playbook here, you think, with a little trickeration, or do you think that they're going to just be conservative?
Well, I would be surprised if Ravenwood tried to stop this clock. I think they're happy going in 28-7. They know they get the ball back. So if Franklin were to run it, you know, all 3 times, let the clock go out, I think that's fine. But the problem with doing all the trickeration and trying to do things is, Ryder Gregg already fumbled it back to the 5 one time when they were trying to pass it. You don't want that play to happen. Next thing you know, it's 35-7 because you gave something up.
Well, and the reality is I think Ravenwood's hoping to get to a running clock.
Right there.
There's the fumble on the play.
I tell you what.
And Ravenwood's got it. So I think, Clarke, you spoke that as a Franklin resident, you spoke that into existence. So you may have some emails to answer tomorrow.
I'll answer them. But I tell you what, if this was college or professionals, they would. Okay. Franklin has the ball.
Are they saying they recovered?
I don't know if he recovered it, but
calling him down.
I think the ball was down on the ground. I think the ball caused the fumble, and that's what they're staying with it. So yeah, that's what I saw was that he really didn't fumble, but it came down to hit the ground first.
Well, that's a huge break for Franklin. It's second and a country mile down there, about 22 yards, and now they got their heels on the 3-yard line as opposed to the 20. And so you got to think here they're just going to run the ball and take it into the locker room.
No, they're not.
And contradicting me.
Oh, we almost got him.
So they open up and throw it, and now it's third and long clock.
Here's the thing, though.
Stop. There we go.
Yeah, they let 2 or 3 off on that one right there.
Friendly scorekeeper here.
We're not
seconds off the clock.
We're not at a running clock yet, are we? I was confused there for a second.
So 3rd and 22 from their own 7-yard line.
But this is what you don't want because the punter has not gotten off anything more than 30, 40 yards at most.
That's right.
And so if you're going to be 4th down and he gets it back to the 30, that just gives Ravenwood another chance to score.
Well, and Franklin went more than that on their last drive in about 1:30.
Right.
So they definitely, with timeouts, have the capability to do it. Franklin brought a stunt blitz. He throws it out to the flat, and it's just dropped.
It might be best that he dropped that because they were going to be all over that.
But what he did there is stop the clock.
That's true.
So Ravenwood.
It's 4th down.
Ravenwood should have about 1:07, but the hometown clockkeeper ran it down to 1:04.
There's some Ravenwood guys out there screaming, "Stop the clock."
So 1:04, Ravenwood has to operate. You got to think this is going to be in plus territory for them with the way the punts have been going tonight, unless he just absolutely gets one out of his mind.
Yep. Well, he's standing at the 40, so he's not. Ravenwood returners do not plan on a huge kick.
That's right.
Wind's picked up a little bit, though. Maybe this might help.
Formation. Macias is deep for Ravenwood.
Well, I'm glad it did. I think a skunk sprayed around to somewhere.
I could have a good chance. I smell it.
They're
going. They look like they might have gone. Oh, that's a good kick right there.
Backs him up to
and
the 50.
A good bounce.
Takes a bounce. He's got a chance.
He's got a lot of space, though.
That's
flag.
Gonna be a block. That's an iffy
block in
call.
the back. This won't count. Another flag. He's trying to play without his helmet. Don't do that. Oh, another flag. Coach, we got about 17 of them out there.
We got a block in the back, a helmet on the field, about 7 flags.
I don't know what they're going to call.
And the wind still hasn't blown that skunk smell out of the booth.
There are multiple flags on the play.
At least the clock stopped. I don't know what they're going to call. All I saw, like you said, was there was a helmet off. There was a block in the back. There might have been a illegal hit earlier. I mean, there's no telling what they're going to call.
You know, you got to admire the heart, but not necessarily the intelligence of trying to engage in a play with no helmet.
That's true. That's an attaboy, but don't ever do it again.
Yeah, that's the coach saying, if you ever do that again, let's live to play another day.
Exactly.
Please.
There's more to life than football. I mean, this might take a while.
Well, I know the block in the back here
That's
at the
obvious.
40 was clear. And that was an iffy call at best. I saw it, and I was like, he's going to throw that. And he did.
He did.
And so that was that one. And then you had all sorts of ruckus and pandemonium down here, flags everywhere.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. If I was a ref and I saw about 4 flags go out, I would just throw one just to be part of the team.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a call. I just wanted to help out, guys.
I just wanted to be in the meeting to see what y'all were going to say.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I threw one. I wanted my ticket in the club.
I didn't want the fans looking out and me be the only one with a yellow flag in my pocket.
So I'm just going to nod my head. That's right.
That's a good call. It's a good call.
Good job, gentlemen. So the officials are talking to the Franklin captains here to see. So I'm guessing this is going to go against Ravenwood. And you can't double and triple penalties. So it's what penalty do you want to accept?
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
Well, I suspect
my guess would be the block in the back.
Absolutely.
That's a spot foul, and they'll back it up from there.
That's what you want. Well, here we go with the explanation.
During the return, we had 3 blocks in the back.
Okay.
On the receiving team. We had illegal participation on the kicking team. All penalties will be administered. It will be first down white.
Well, I stand corrected. He said all penalties will be administered. I'm not sure how that.
I'm not sure this.
I don't know that.
I don't think I've ever heard that before. I mean, I'm not a student of the game to where I understand what reffing is and all the details, but I don't think I've ever heard that all penalties are going to count.
All penalties will be administered.
Yeah. Are we going to walk all this off?
I feel guilty. I didn't even do anything. It looks like, though, where they're spotting the ball is from the block in the back.
Well, it's got to be that all 3 of them, I don't know, maybe 2 of them are the same. Look, he's marking it off.
Well, he's walking back and forth.
And then he's going to go back the other way. Well, he only marked off 2, didn't he?
Well, it looks like they're starting better than where the block in the back was. So the math ain't mathing, but here we go.
Exactly.
45 seconds left in this first quarter.
You know,
we'll see if they're going to take shots here. I'm assuming they are going to. Babalola, quick pass to the sideline. Oh, what a move by the receiver on the outside.
Out of bounds.
He ran that cornerback in circles out there. That's a quick first down out of bounds, stops the clock, and takes a whopping 10 seconds off the clock. And I think what they're just trying to do now is getting Babalola's deep throw range here.
Yeah, well, he's in it. This is where they were last time when he dropped one on a dime.
He's 45 yards out. So there he goes, got some pressure from the outside. He sidearms that to the 35. 27 seconds, 26.
Clock's going. Whoa.
Three extra seconds run off the clock there.
If you're a Franklin fan.
If this was soccer, they might have an extra 2 minutes here.
Absolutely. If you're a Franklin fan, you got to love the clock operator.
He's best friend right now. 4 wide here, single back for Babalola.
For Ravenwood first down.
No pressure. Franklin
None.
just sinks.
Oh, that is.
Not
He
sure
catch
if he's calling it a catch.
Boy, that was great touch. He dropped that right in there over the linebacker.
Timeout's going to be called for Ravenwood.
There's no way of checking that catch either,
I
is
don't
there?
know
There's
if
no
he
VAR.
caught it or not. It looked close.
Yep.
Of course, Franklin's saying he didn't.
Of course.
See what the clock operator says.
You know, most of the time in these high school games, the clock operator is an alumni.
Timeout Ravenwood.
So
your final timeout of the half.
It's your best friend.
Rarely a neutral party.
Which is okay. It's okay.
So your score 28-7 here. Ravenwood.
You can keep up with all Franklin Admirals athletics this
18
school year
seconds
by
left to
following Joe
go.
Williams and Charles Pulliam at the Williamson field.
Ravenwood has
That's the
no
Williamson
timeouts
Mountains.
left, so you
Williamson
got to
Mountains
think these are just going to be end zone shots here.
Absolutely. I don't think they'll have time to rush on the kicker if it's short.
Yeah, your can't do's here on this drive is you can't take a sack and you can't throw it short in the middle of the field. Those 2 things are probably going to result in the clock expiring for the half. He's got to keep it to the sidelines and not take a sack.
Well, this is where you see with that, you know, signing as a D1 quarterback. A lot of times, yeah, they've got the arm and, yeah, they've got the size, but do they have something between the ears to make sure they make that right play at the right time?
That's right. Jeff Fisher once said potential is what gets you fired. So he's looking. There he goes to the sidelines.
Yep. Great route, too. Push
Great
the
route,
DB
comeback
back.
route, yep.
Yeah.
Babalola's pass is complete to Kelly.
I say 5 seconds off the clock, but it was actually 7 seconds off the clock.
First and goal, Ravenwood.
First and goal. So that, I mean, they have 12 seconds. They
two
could run
plays.
2 to 3 plays here if
Absolutely.
they're quick. And so you got to imagine these are 3 quick passes. Babalola back, has some pressure.
He's got
on the
time to
backside.
run it
He's gonna
himself.
Run.
Stopped him. Big hit. Oh, they gave him the touchdown. Wow.
Touchdown, Ravenwood.
He went head over heels on that one, but the ball crossed the plane. That's going to be a touchdown. So
We weren't close enough to tell.
as the clock expires, that's going to push your lead 34-7. Pending extra point, that's going to take us to halftime on your WCTV Game of the Week. Host Franklin Admirals.
You know, Doug, if you were on the sidelines as a coach and you saw your quarterback make
about
that
Franklin?
play and you're already up 28-7, would you be happy or a little unhappy with that quarterback?
Well,
making
he's
that
probably
play?
got Boston College calling him right now saying,
He doesn't-
Coach,
yeah,
Coach,
he doesn't need to play in the second
what
half.
are you doing? But as much as you don't want to see that, those kids love that.
They
You
do.
know, he's going to replay that on Huddle
Yeah,
probably 100 times. Mom, look at this. Mom, look at this.
but there's probably a lot of kids at Ravenwood that don't play football that are going to be replaying that
That's right.
in math class,
Yeah,
watching it.
That's going to be their Sports Center highlight come Monday in the hallways. So it's a lengthy,
Yeah.
lengthy stoppage of play here just to kick an extra point.
There's
Not sure.
No injuries.
That was an entire team conversation on the Ravenwood sideline.
Please put 5 seconds on the game clock.
Well, they are going by soccer rules.
They
We
are.
are in extra time here in the second quarter. They just said to add 5 seconds to the clock.
The difference is if it was soccer, we'd have about 6 minutes left to play
That's right.
for some reason.
That's right.
And I'm a soccer fan, you know that. But
Yep.
Here to attempt the point after.
You still coaching soccer?
still coaching soccer. We're
There
in the
you
middle of
go.
the season,
Kick is up.
and it's good.
Kick is good.
Over
Kick
the
is good.
tens.
With 5 seconds to go in the half.
So
the
barring
score is
any
Ravenwood 35,
miraculous play here by
27.
either side, your halftime is going to go Ravenwood 35, Franklin 7, and Ravenwood will receive the kick to start the second half.
Well, this is a dream scenario for everyone, not just because they're winning big and not because they're happy because all the plays have gone well, but with all those players on the sidelines that normally don't get on the field, this is one of those games where they get to kind of throw some kids out there and see what they can do, see what kind of hidden talent they've got for next year or the next year, or even for this year if a player goes down with an injury.
Well, and for Franklin, you know, I think that they knew that this was a potential outcome,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so what a coach, at least in my experience, what a coach looks for is who's playing hard, who's giving it all they got, who's executing correctly, because talent is going to win most of the time.
Absolutely.
And so they're just seeing who's executing, who's playing with heart, who's not quitting. Ravenwood lines up to kick. Franklin is hopeful
Well,
at
you
the
just-
10-yard line, but I would imagine this. Well, they may keep it in bounds here to run the clock out.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I mean, just
but I would
Let it
guess
go.
he's just going to boot this into the end zone.
he
And
sure
it's up,
did.
and well, it's
It's
short.
returnable.
So
Who knows, Coach?
strategizing here on Ravenwood. Hit hard,
Yep.
and that's the quarter. So
Another
just
one
like
return.
that, your WCTV Game of the Week, Doug Capella with my guy Clarke Oldham.
With your score,
Ravenwood leads
35,
leads
Franklin
the
7.
Franklin Admirals 35-7. We will be back after the half.
Throw some of these scores out, Breece sent us.
All right, here we go. Back second half action. I'm Doug Capella, flanked by my partner, Clarke Oldham.
Hey, hey.
Clarke, not how Franklin had hoped that first half would go as we come into the second half. Ravenwood up 35-7.
Yeah, and it's they're probably thinking it's not going to be much of a difference in the second half, and especially with Ravenwood getting the ball in the second half, it's probably just going to be a lot of moving down the field, kind of doing whatever they want to.
Well, it's what we said in the first half. What are the coaches looking for at this point? I don't know that Franklin's hopeful. I mean, there's probably a dreaming side that says we're going to mount a comeback, but the realistic side says who's playing hard, who's giving me effort, and who's doing what they're supposed to do. Are we losing our cool? Are we getting penalties? And so take what you can out of it. Don't let this one linger too long. You got another game next week. And we're talking like it's the end of the world, but it's 35-7, and we're a score away from a running clock. And so also interesting to see what Ravenwood does here with the rotation of quarterbacks. If they get ahead and they have a running clock, are they going to sit both Babalola and Maverick Chance, or are they going to go with one over the other? See what happens here. Your kickoff's coming up.
I think one of the things Franklin's got to look at is, which the coach talked about, is everybody's got to kind of do their job. He felt like they had 7 to 8 kids at certain times really working hard on the offense, but not all 11. And so probably even if they can't get what they want done are we moving forward as a team and pulling together to do the best we can instead of just 7, 8 of them doing it. Well, it looks like it's the same as it was in the first half with who's coming out for Ravenwood.
So you got Babalola and Chance.
And, yeah. Well, you got Chance.
Well, you got all three
of them out there.
You got Pace, Chance, and Babalola. It looks like Chance is lining up in the slot down here.
They got 4. Tell you what, I think it's just going to be open the playbook and see what we can do.
And here comes Chance. Took the jet sweep motion there. Has a handoff to the outside. He just ran about 50 yards sideways, coming from the near side to the far side.
Got about 2 yards on it.
52 yards, only 2 of them were forward on that one.
But if you're Franklin and you line up on the other side and you see those 3 offensive players out there, you're thinking, oh my goodness, who's going to get it? Who's going to take it? It gives a huge challenge for them.
Taylon Vaughn on here on the small side of the field. He ran a crisp route for a touchdown towards the end of the second quarter there, untouched.
Yep.
Be interesting to see if they integrate him more into this third quarter as the night goes on, because they're 3 big money makers. They're only going to be in the game, I would imagine, so long. They're not going to keep all 3 in there.
I wouldn't suspect it. You don't want to be testing that injury bug, and if somebody goes down like they don't need to. So, but they're coming open, and they're open wide. I mean, they're not lining up in a simple run formation and just trying to push them down the field. They're really trying to, and again, so what if they don't get the first down? They punt it. Like we said in the first half, I just don't think they're too worried about that Franklin offense right now.
Babalola's pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage. Sails over the defender. 4th and 5. And on comes the clean jerseys of the punt team. Well, I think Ravenwood, if my memory serves me correct, punted a single time in the first half.
Yeah, I believe you're right. But here's the thing. Ravenwood, I mean, even though they're up, they still have to be a little bit careful to not get too loose with their offense and not move the ball. And, strange plays happen where he kicks and returns this. They still have to run the offense the way they want to. Great looking kick.
High hanger is going to be down at the 40, and it's going to take a Ravenwood bounce to the 34. Well, and Ravenwood's coaches are looking for the same thing, because not every game is going to be 35-7 in the third quarter, and it's only going to get tougher as they head into the playoffs. And so they're looking for execution, they're looking for discipline, and they're looking for hustle too. They want to see not only what they have in this group, but what's behind this group in the event that someone does get the injury bug and they're out for extended time.
It's still executing the plays no matter who's on the field, no matter where you are in the game. That's what they want to see, is who's going to be out there and do it. Franklin looks like they're coming out passing.
Stacked receivers on the hashes right here out of the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff.
Tell you what, that is just too slow a developing play.
Yeah, and we've seen Panaya several times, and he's just got to be frustrated with the lanes he's seeing because there's just not much there. And you're not going to bump it outside on Ravenwood. They have too much team speed, and they're too disciplined. But in the same tone, he has had zero room to run in between the tackles either. And so he just got to be frustrated on the inside. Just no lanes to run tonight.
Just like Ryder Gregg hasn't had any time to really drop back and look at the field and pick somebody out besides his first receiver.
Yeah, Ravenwood's defense has been stout all night. You got motion here. We're going to roll out.
That's a good pass, good catch.
Yeah, got about 5 or 6 on that. Looks like to their tight end, 84. Connor Miller on the catch.
You know, but that looks like a big play, looks like a big gain, and it was really 3 yards. 4 yards is all. And it's just, there's no moving the ball at a quick pace for Franklin right now.
Well, and it's the old adage, Clarke, you got to take what the defense is giving you. And so
not giving much.
If there's not those run lanes, they have shown to give those 4 or 5 yard passes. And I just don't think Franklin is confident enough to do those consistently on drives. And so now you have 5 wide here on 3rd and 5. And this has not been very successful for Franklin in the past because, and there comes the blitz. And so
they picked that up.
Quick pressure, and he's down. He's sacked for a loss of about a half a yard on the play. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. And so, I mean, it's almost an automatic. When Franklin opens up in 5 wide, they're sending somebody.
Yeah.
And that time it was their inside linebacker they sent on a little bit of a stump blitz there. So Franklin's going to go for it. At least they're lining up like they're going to go for it. 4 wide.
But even if they jump, it's still not going to be a first down. Well, yeah, it is 4th and 5. I'm sorry. I thought it was 6. That's a long.
Well, and they just went with a hard count. So you wonder here if they're going to sit on this and call a timeout because they got 6 yards to go. So this won't be a first down.
Trying to get him to go.
2-1 on the clock. Yeah, that was just an attempt to draw him off.
That's all right. No harm, no foul.
Well, here comes the punt team now. That's odd, Clarke, because like you said, I don't think they would have been short even if they did jump.
Yeah.
But maybe they decide 4th and 6 inches is better than 4th and 5, and they would feel more confident to go for it.
Yeah.
But in any regard, it's 4th and a little over 10 now. Hunter on the 20-yard line. I think we've had flags on every single punt return tonight, so we'll see if this is a clean punt and a clean return.
It's been a lot of blocking the backs, a little extracurricular activities on all the punts.
So a diagonal punt, actually a really good punt there for Franklin.
Yeah.
Gets it away from the returner and drops it at about the 35. And for Franklin, how it's been going, that's a win.
That is a huge win. That's the second time Ravenwood's going to be starting on their side of the field.
Your score here, just under 8 minutes to go. Clock at 7:54. Ravenwood 35, Franklin 7 on your WCTV game of the week. And so Ravenwood came out and tried to open it up on their first drive, and it got closed. They weren't able to get much, got about 5 yards. And so we'll see.
1st and 10 Ravenwood.
They got Chance out there in the backfield again.
Babalola rolling out after the fake. This is going to go into the turf. That's a hard throw for a quarterback. He had 2 guys in his face rolling out.
Across his body.
And so that one skips on the turf to the receiver.
There's very few quarterbacks that can make that pass.
2nd down.
So we got 3 wide. Babalola in the shotgun.
It looked like a little movement up front. Yeah. Jumped a little too early.
Yep, false start. From what I've seen with Babalola, he really is a rhythm thrower. He's got to get into a rhythm. So, like that was a quick snap throw to the outside, and that pass was on a rope. And so I'll probably try to get him in rhythm with a few of those and then maybe snap a deep one because he definitely appears to be a rhythm thrower. So they're behind the chains here, 2nd and 15. Babalola takes a snap, looking out to the flat.
Oh, off his helmet. Oh, Franklin almost got that one.
Dangerous pass,
Very
and that
dangerous.
was to Taylor Vaughn. And He housed it earlier, and I think looking downfield,
Yeah.
that was the right call there.
Babalola
Luckily,
pass is
Franklin
incomplete.
tipped it at the line of scrimmage, or that might have been dangerous. Tipped and almost picked, so now you got 3rd and 15.
It's 3rd and 15.
Ravenwood doesn't look like they're sweating it, though.
No,
Calmly
they
line
don't.
up. That's going to be offside. That's going to give them their 5 back.
Flag on the play.
You know, what you're saying about getting in a rhythm, it's always good when he can make those passes, because if you make 2 or 3 of those quick passes, then you've got those DBs and the safety kind of jumping some things, hoping they can get there, and that's when you're able to kind of go long on them, because they're worried about those little quick passes. And he's shown that touch on the long ball that he can make it.
Well, and you wonder if they're trying to set up a deep ball, because they've run a couple comeback routes here with their receivers. And so you wonder if they're going to do a comeback and then head deep so he can loft it up. You just never know. We'll see what he's going to do, if he's going to play conservative. 3rd and 10. Babalola looking back.
There's
he
that
goes
long,
deep
he's
on
wide
this
open.
play. Taylor Vaughn
Whoa.
wide open on the money.
Oh, couldn't get it together.
Stumbles a la Daniel Jones on the long run.
Babalola
Had the pass.
complete to
Babalola put that right
Vaughn.
where only Vaughn could catch it.
I tell you what, though, that was – hope he's okay. He's still down.
And Vaughn's down. Looks like
Cramping.
he's cramping up, getting stretched out. I thought he maybe had landed on the football and knocked the wind out of him, but he cramping up there. But, man, what a beautiful pass by Babalola.
That was a
throw.
tight spiral, wasn't it? Just dropped it in again.
Looks
He's got
good.
great touch.
That's not the play I thought they were setting up.
No, not at all. Well, like you said, he looks like a speedster. He's going to outrun a lot of kids.
Well, he's not huge in stature. He's 5'8", but he's definitely shifty fast, and he just outran the entire Franklin defense there. And I don't know that Babalola could have put it anywhere else. I mean, that was hit him in the basket, as you'd say.
On the stride, too. So, I mean, he should have probably gotten in, but he stumbled a little bit, which happens. You know, that turf jumps up every once in a while.
The turf monster got him,
Absolutely.
and I think he just cramped up. It was all he could do to catch it, and it looks like he has a double cramp going here.
Oh.
When you're 48, that's how you have to stretch just to go to bed at night, Clarke.
Tell you what, when you hurt yourself getting out of bed is when you know you're old.
Or drinking water or ironing your
Sneezing.
pants. I mean, tell you what.
Well, it doesn't look like it's too severe. They're just stretching him out, which is good.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, usually it's on those hot nights when, you know, it's really uncomfortable, but it's quite pleasant right now. It's just a great night for football.
Not muggy, not anything like that. So, yeah, good night for football.
Well, while we're waiting real quick, we got Paul Breece sent us some scores. These are probably not 100% accurate, but what he sent us was Centennial is currently losing to Antioch 30-13. Nolensville is beating Tullahoma, and that was at half, 14-13. Page is way ahead and continued their winning streak, 35-0 against Henry County. And Brentwood, who's trying to bounce back after a couple losses, is 17-0 over Shelbyville. And one more, Lincoln County is winning currently over Summit 21-13.
It's 1st and 10.
Babalola back to pass. Inside screen, the number 1. Got the shoelace tackle there on Cy Longley, the senior, 5'11", 170. Think that was Taylor Vaughn's spot, but he's on the sidelines getting hydration right now.
That was well done by the linebacker, sidestepping the block and getting that tackle, because if he didn't do it, I think he would have been in the end zone.
And that was a great read by their front, too. As soon as they saw it, they all stepped back.
Yep.
Prevented a possible touchdown. Babalola there. Handoff goes to number 28 for Ravenwood. That's going to be Jacob Jewell.
Jacob Jewell on the carry.
Andrew Brown with the tackle.
Actually, that's probably going to be Keaton Davis. Jacob Jewell is the defensive back.
1 yard on the play.
Keaton Davis is your
3rd and 4.
running back, both number 28s. It's making it hard on an announcer, these multiple numbers, Clarke.
I know, especially. Bumped it outside. That's just speed right there.
Again, the Maverick chance and just trucks into the end zone.
Maverick chance carries for the Ravenwood touchdown.
It's going to be your running clock eligibility now, 41-7. Maverick Chance just plows his way into the end zone.
And let's not forget, that is a quarterback who just did that.
Clock operator maybe not realizing it's a running clock at this point, but it should be.
That clock operator's let it run in the first half. Somebody needs to tell him. It's one of those things that you don't really notice until you kind of pay attention to it. We looked at the two rosters that have been given to us for both teams, and Ravenwood's roster has the height and the weight on there, and Franklin's roster does not. And I think that's a tale of what we're seeing today. Is we're seeing a team that's just a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, and also, just to be honest, a little more experience on the field. And that's Ravenwood, obviously.
Yeah, it's the first time I've had a 2-page roster given to me on a game night.
Yeah.
It's like an Excel spreadsheet.
Over 100 kids.
And multiple kids with the same numbers.
Which, not to say that anything bad about Ravenwood. I think that says a lot about their program. That these kids, a lot of them probably are playing for 4 years and getting very little playing time, but they want to be part of a winning program and a system that has been successful for many, many years now.
Well, and you'd mentioned it earlier, especially in the era we live in with NILs and all that, players have the opportunity to transfer one time and not lose eligibility. And so how easy is it to be second string on Ravenwood but say, hey, you know what, I want to go somewhere else where I can start.
Right.
And I'd like to say a lot of them don't do that. They have a lot of kids on this team that stick it out and play and dedicate to the program.
And Jennings are deep for Franklin.
That is returnable.
That's going to be returnable.
A little bit
Franklin
of a bobble.
At the 10, 15, he's going to be driven down at about the 16.
Yep. Didn't help that he bobbled a little bit. He took a couple seconds to make sure he had it secured.
Clock operator got the running clock memo.
Yep.
Counting down now.
This is where we might see some. No, they still got some of those same players out there from the starting 11. So
I don't know that Franklin will sub much, but it looks like the Ravenwood might start to get some different players out on defense.
17.
Shotgun, scrolling, scanning the field, throws it outside. Looks like he made the catch, bobbled, but caught.
Yeah, they gave it to him.
Looks like for no gain, however.
Hudson Cusack runs him out of bounds.
So they
There's no gain on the play.
no gain on the play. I wasn't sure they gave it to him or not.
Well, let's see what Franklin's game plan is here. Down 35. Deep on their own side of the field. Goes with the hard count. Has a lane. He slides down at the 20.
Yeah.
He's only going to get about 2 yards on that play.
It's the kind of night where you watch Franklin and you see the play develop and you think to yourself, that might turn into something. And then Ravenwood just gets there so quick that they just shut it down.
Well, so we're in running clock territory, Clarke, and so for the sake of our fans, tell me, because I'll bet Sue Oldham is listening to you at home, where was the first date you took Miss Sue Oldham?
Well, we went to school in Montgomery, Alabama, at a small school called Huntington College, and we went out to dinner at this nice Italian restaurant called Corsino's. There's a great catch by Franklin.
Good jumping catch for Franklin.
So at this point, nobody wants to hear my story because Franklin just got a first down and moved the ball, which is wonderful for me.
Joseph, now you had me on the hook.
Yeah, I know.
We got to finish the story here, Clarke.
That's what Franklin's been hoping for the whole game, is just turning something. The pressure was still there. Ryder Gregg did a good job of kind of moving out of the pocket and making a very good pass.
So Franklin, they've just matched their entire offensive output for the
They
night,
might
I think,
have.
on that one play. So they're going to open up 3 wide with a stacked receiver set at the hash. It's going to be a handoff to the near side of the field. And he's going to be stacked and lose about 3 or 4 yards. Coach, the listening audience is dying to hear how this story went.
And there's not much more to it. We went out to dinner, had a good
Swept her
time.
off her feet with the Italian restaurant, huh?
It was a dirty Italian restaurant that had amazing food. It's the kind of place you never want to look at the kitchen because the food's so good.
There you go.
So that's kind of where it all started.
Very nice.
32 years ago. This month, 32 years.
Wow. Congratulations, Mr.
Thanks.
Oldham. There you go. 32 great years.
They have been. All right, back to football. He just cannot hit that hole quick enough.
That's right. Quarterback scramble for about a gain of a yard on the play. You know, when I got
It's 3rd and 11.
my first date with my now wife, I took her to this small, fancy little hole-in-the-wall coffee shop called Starbucks.
I haven't heard of that place. Is that around here somewhere? They got good coffee? Are they doing well?
Yep, that's where it all started.
It's got to start somewhere.
That's right.
And Franklin's probably thinking the same thing. It's got to start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere. 3rd and 11 here, 3 wide, out of the shotgun. Quick pass out to what I would call their H-back / tight end, and he's hit hard after a gain of about 2. Might have been the hardest 2 yards he's had to
that's
earn
Connor
up
Miller.
to this point. Connor Miller.
Now he's coming off. Hope he's okay. He's got a little limp to him.
So 4th and 9 for Franklin after their big jump ball play down the field. 4th and 9. Looks like they are going to go for it here, and
I doubt they're going to try to do this fake snap and kind of pull them off. There's no reason to, obviously, but so they're going to go for it. What do they have to lose, you know?
Well, what you don't want to do is get beat 70-7 either.
That's true.
You know, you want to. It's a running clock.
It is a running clock. I'm not sure they can get to 70 with that running clock, but if they keep those players on the field, Ravenwood does. I mean, they're going to try.
Timeout somewhere.
Might have an equipment problem there.
Yeah, with a quick sub in and out. So
I think it was equipment.
Clock running again. Believe it or not, we're under a minute here in the 3rd. About 35 seconds to go. Rolling out.
Long ball.
Throws a deep one. He might have something. Oh, the defender.
No. Oh, and there comes the flag.
I don't know if I like that one.
I'm not sure.
Looked like the ball hit the back of the Ravenwood defender.
Well, I can tell you right now, not even looking at the rosters, this is a different defensive team for Ravenwood just by looking at the size of them. Not quite the height or the weight in there. So that gives Franklin a little bit more opportunity to maybe do some things to make themselves feel good about the offense.
Yeah, I don't know how they're calling pass interference on this play. The defender didn't even touch him, and the ball hit the defender in the back.
15-yard penalty from the original spot.
Woo. Interesting call, but nonetheless, it was the call.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be 1st down, a break for Franklin, but that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter with the running clock. So 42-7, visiting Ravenwood on top.
And they are very, very comfortable right now, obviously 42-7. And so they're just, you know, at this point, I'm sure they don't want to make any mistakes. I'm sure they don't want to make Franklin feel like they can score and do some things, but they're giving some of those younger kids an opportunity to come out and, like you said before, see what they can do, see if they can make the plays that they're supposed to make for this year or for the next year.
Well, and all Franklin can really do here if they score is stop the running clock.
That's it.
Right, and then Ravenwood will come out. And so 42-7 is your score. Start of the 4th quarter coming up.
Well, if you look at the last three games from Ravenwood, I mean, I think it was, they beat somebody 37 or something to 0, then 50-0, and now 42. So they have put up some huge numbers.
Well, and they haven't given up an offensive score to Franklin. The lone score on the
That's
board
true.
was a
true.
fumble recovery.
Yeah.
So their defense has not given up a touchdown in this game. And that's, you got to know that that's in the back of their mind on defense, is they don't want to give it up. And the starters are telling the backups, don't give up a touchdown.
It's a little bit of a pride issue, isn't it?
From the Ravenwood 39 after the penalty.
So 1st and 10 on the 39 for Franklin. Out of the shotgun. He's going to ride the read option there, and he's going to be tackled for about 3-yard loss. Panea there again.
He's run hard. I mean, he's given it all he's got, but he's got no room to get up the field.
No, if you're still going lateral and you're about at the numbers, they've sealed it off, and you just got nowhere to go. Because at that time, you got safeties and cornerbacks that have come up.
They already see what you've done, and the play's already developed. They already know where to go.
So it's going to be second and about 14 at the 40, call it 3-yard line for Franklin. 3 wide, single back set. They're going to be stacked here on the bottom side of the field on the hashes.
That's a quick little pass there. That's a good
Quick
play.
pass. Franklin's got some room.
Now that's a really nice play. Uh-oh. Somebody's down for Franklin.
Keaton Davis brings him down.
You know, Clarke, injury on the field.
Cameron Higgins.
I don't know why they haven't done more of that all night. I said earlier, you got to take what they give you, and if they're going to give you those underneath passes, because 9 times out of 10 he may get tackled right there, but he just turned that upfield and got about 20 yards.
Yeah. And it's not, I mean, I don't think it's because they haven't tried. I think there's a couple times we've seen it where Greg just didn't have a single second to get the ball off. There was a DB or a linebacker that was in the backfield pulling him down within seconds of the snap, you know, and that's no matter who you're playing against. If you don't have time to set it and get that pass off, it's going to be a long night.
Got 3 drones in the air right here above midfield.
It's kind of frightening looking at times. So you got to figure 1 for Franklin, 1 for Ravenwood. What's the third one? The drones.
Oh,
There's 3 drones.
3 drones.
1 Franklin, 1 Ravenwood.
And somebody
from
in their
Rebel
backyard.
Meadows across the street watching the game.
You had me confused there. It was 1 for Franklin, 1 for 1 for the money, 2 for the. So this injury doesn't look to be of the cramp variety.
No, it does not.
Unfortunately, you got the training staff down there. So Clarke, how long then from Italian restaurant to
come on, Doug,
to proposal? What was the time frame there?
It was we were in school together, so we met early on in college, and so it was about 3.5, 4 years before.
From Linguini to marriage, it was 4 years. 4
wonderful years of college.
That
absolutely.
was her, wasn't it? She said, "Nope."
Look,
4 years.
There,
Mr. Clarke.
It took a while to get used to me, I'm sure. Right? I joke all the time when people would say, "Hey, Clarke, you're dating Susan." They'd be like, "Wow, that's great." And then someone would say, "Susan, you're dating Clarke," and they would say, "Why? What in the world are you doing?"
Well, I just go. They call me Tara's husband.
That's it.
It's about how
absolutely.
It goes.
Yeah.
I just get to be eclipsed by her shadow every now and again.
So it's good to see that he walked off the field on his own power.
Injured player off the field on his own power. That's right. Still getting worked on the sideline.
This 1st and 10 Franklin from the Raptor 24.
So play will resume. Clock will run.
1st and 10.
1st and 10 on about the 24 after that catch and run.
Yeah, really good play by Franklin.
Come out in 4 wide out of the shotgun. We'll see what they want to do here. Snap is back. He scans. He's looking. Takes off quickly, but manages to get a couple.
Greg scrambles on the play.
Actually, they're spotting it, and it looks like he got back to the original line of scrimmage here.
Nick Levine, if you had heard that, I had to turn the page over to get his name.
2nd and 10.
So Ryder Gregg, the quarterback they started with tonight, the young sophomore, still out there. Just under 10 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Gregg has 3 wide, 2nd and 10 out of the shotgun.
Coach Atkins had good things to say about Ryder Gregg. He's just said, you know, he's a sophomore. He's still learning the position, but he's a tough kid. He's out there trying to set a block right there on the run.
Flag on the play.
It might be
a face mask, I'm guessing, is in the area they threw it.
Dallas Stallings brings him down.
Like I said, though, that was, I mean, leading the block right there at the end was Ryder Gregg. So he's a tough kid who doesn't mind getting hit, but he's just got to kind of grow into that position. The quarterback as a sophomore, that's tough to hand the reins over to somebody like that with his youth. But he's got a good arm, and he's doing well.
So Panay on the carry there, face mask, the inadvertent type. High school still has 2, the 15 and the 5-yard variety, and so this was the 5-yard variety.
That was good for Pluggett's first down.
So 1st and 10.
Franklin from the Raptor 12.
From the 12-yard line. See if Ravenwood clamps down here. The field shortened, so to speak, with the end zone right there.
Well, they still have the same defensive unit out there. Look like offsides a little bit, but no flag.
Greg scrolling under pressure.
This is where you don't want to make a mistake. That's
it just throws
good
it
decision.
Throws it out of bounds.
Yeah.
You know, that just gives you the speed of the defense because Ryder Gregg looks like a runner.
Yeah.
And the person running him down looked like a lineman, and they were going the same speed. And so that gives you the idea of the speed of this Ravenwood defense, sealing him off at the perimeter and just has to throw it away just to make the safe play.
And that's most likely, I'm not for sure, but that's most likely that second string defense that's out there. So it shows you, again, the depth that they have.
Just under 8 minutes now here to go in the 4th. Ravenwood 42, Franklin 7.
2nd and 10.
Ryder Gregg trying to put a stop to the running clock here.
False start.
Flag on the play.
All sides.
All sides on the defense. That's going to give Franklin a free 5. Put them about the 7-yard line.
They can still, tell me if I'm wrong, but they can still get a first down out of this without scoring. It's
right
on the 2-yard line.
You know, in this case, I don't know if a penalty really hurts Ravenwood because it runs about a minute off the clock to have a penalty.
You're right.
They could just jump off sides about 7 more times and end the game.
You never get to the end zone that way. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, in all seriousness, they ran a minute off of the clock just on the penalty. So 3 wide here for Ryder Gregg. Takes the snap. Looks like they're going with the same play. He's under pressure. Gregg scrambles to his left. Looking. Sacked out of bounds.
Gregg chased out of bounds.
He did a good job of trying to give him some time and opportunity. There's just nothing open in the end zone. It's good coverage.
So he's going to lose about 3 yards. That's going to bring it back to 3rd and 8.
Well, obviously, with it being 42-7, if they don't get it here, they're going to be going for it.
It's 3rd down.
Well, in Franklin, too, they're in no hurry here. They're not in their NASCAR offense or anything like that. I mean,
they understand the situation.
That's right.
I would, if I was on the sidelines, I would just want something positive to come out of this drive, right?
That's
and
right.
if it takes you 5 minutes to get there, so what? It's a good thing to have. Flag, he moved, number 3, step back.
That's right. It's going to be a false start on number 3.
And this is what Atkins was talking about, is all the players on the field working together to be successful. And he said sometimes in those last couple games, it just seemed like there were only 7 or 8 of them. There were 2 or 3 that just were making mistakes that just didn't help anybody.
So just like that, they went from 2nd and about 4 to 3rd and about 13. And again, that false start is going to run about 45 seconds off the clock.
It's 3rd down.
3rd down. Got 3 wide to the bottom of the screen. Greg scanning. Has pressure. He's going to the back. Nobody home there. He just threw it to the back.
I'm not sure anybody could catch that. Yeah, that was out of the back of the end zone. But good coverage, though.
Threw it to the back and just blanket coverage there in the end zone.
Reed was the intended receiver.
So 4th down here facing the Franklin Admirals.
Looks like they're going to kick it. Try to get something. Practice a little special teams.
All right, about 4.5 ticks left to go here in the fourth quarter. Franklin for a try on that field goal.
32-yard field goal.
32-yard kick coming up. Snap is back, kick is up. Kick is good.
And the kick is good.
Doesn't affect the running clock, but that is points scored on this Ravenwood defense.
Jose Gonzalez puts it right through the uprights. It's a good, solid kick from that distance.
Your new score here in the fourth quarter, Ravenwood 42, Franklin 10.
You know, it really doesn't matter who's on the defensive side for Ravenwood. Franklin had a good drive. They kind of shot themselves in the foot there at the end with too many penalties. But it was still something where the plays worked.
I'm not sure if the clock operator is aware of the new rule. It's 30 points, not 35. Clock should be running, but
there's only so much we can be in charge of.
That's right. I can't tell them it's 30, not 35.
As a couple former social studies teachers, we shouldn't be telling anybody about math.
You got that right.
Franklin High Sports site on X. Simply search for Franklin Admiral Sports at WCS.
So
FHS
4:09
Sports.
and holding
Holding.
here in the fourth quarter. Franklin lines up to kick off.
And they're moving up to about the 10, so they know what's coming.
Henry Ruth set the kick for Franklin.
It's actually on the officials to keep track of the clock.
That is
so
true.
Perhaps they are not aware of the rule.
Once again, Franklin's student body is here and still rocking, even though they're down by 32. One of the best fan bases in Williamson County, Middle Tennessee. No matter what the game's going on, they're still into it.
That's right. Not many people leaving here tonight with 4 minutes left. Student section still here, dancing, having a good time.
That's what you like about high school football.
Good atmosphere.
Yep.
Just a reminder,
so
we'll be on the road next week for a 7:30
fast
kickoff.
forward, Clarke, 32 years this month.
You're killing me, Doug.
Where's your favorite place now to take the missus
to
on a
eat?
Night out? Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to pull one out here and say we like to stay home and cook.
Oh.
That way we save a little money, but also we enjoy the time together.
Spoken like a true teacher.
That's it. On our salary, it's getting more expensive to eat out, and it's just no reason to. That buy one, get one free.
No free sponsorships tonight on WCTV.
Haven't gotten it yet.
Davis on the carry.
Ravenwood runs, gets about 2 on the play. 2nd and 8.
Well, they definitely do not have their 2 starting quarterbacks out there.
That's correct.
Gain of 2 yards on the play, 2nd and 8.
They are going to take the full allotment of time clock here on each one of these snaps. Handoff here to 28, gets around the side. He's going to be stacked at about the 24-yard line. This is going to be 3rd and 6.
We got Brooks Brown and as a sophomore quarterback. He's 6'1", 160. He's still got a couple years to get a little bit bigger.
He's got to make a visit to the concession stand every now and again.
I'm sure they got some sort of program going on over there to beef him up a little bit.
Ravenwood may have in-house, like the home chef in there.
Yeah, they don't mind watching that clock run, do they?
Not at all. They snapped it at 10 last time.
I know. I don't know why.
So here again,
3rd
9
and 6,
seconds
drop it back to
left.
pass. Right through the hands.
the hands. I don't know that was going to get a first regardless, but through the hands of number 28 for Ravenwood, that's going to be Keaton Davis.
I had to stop myself because I almost said, well, that's going to stop the clock, but it is not.
No. So 1 minute and 40 seconds ticking away here.
Tell you what, I don't know if you can hear it on the TV, but there's a lot of ABBA going on right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. A little super group of the 70s.
Taking you back, Clarke, to the Italian dinner.
Loving that music.
Snap is back, punt is away. High
Wobble.
roller, fair catch caught at
Right
the 39.
Oh, a little extra down here. 4 and 22, he's asking him. Wow.
Franklin pleading for the call there is getting a little extra business.
Yeah, was a little extra.
The official's like, buddy, there's a minute left. Let's go. All right. Officially under a minute to go here, so Franklin, if they desire, could maybe run 2 plays.
Yeah. Unless there's a penalty, then the game's going to be over.
Franklin's starting to drive first and 10 from their own 40.
See if Franklin takes a couple deep shots here. New quarterback in the
Yeah.
game. It's going to be a handoff, and that play goes nowhere.
Chase Jennings on the carry.
So depending on when they reset the clock, that might be
Throwing
it.
people in on the stop.
And that's
Maybe
going to
it.
be it. Franklin doesn't have to run another play,
Nope.
and it doesn't look like they intend to.
Over 2 yards on the play, it's 2nd and 12.
Starting to line up. So that looks like the ball game, folks. Your WCTV game of the week shows Ravenwood coming to Franklin and taking the W home 42-10. Doug Capella here with Clarke Oldham. Go Vols.
Go Doors.
Go Doors. Have a good weekend, folks. Be safe.
Have a good night, guys.
Franklin 10.